This video technically doesn't need to exist, yet here it is anyway.
Know what that is?
I have no idea.
I've got loads of unresolved notes in my desk, which means we've got some extra content to go over. Then what does that make this video?
A bonus.
You're welcome. For starters, we've already discussed how Slater paid his own shirt $5. It's a super smooth move that definitely didn't need to be reshot. But this interaction pinged something in my brain to where I now notice the odd ways these kids hand off money. For instance, in the last episode we covered, Zack pays Craterface Coburn $10. Why does Zack look away and start whistling? Does he think he needs to be discreet? Like this is some shady corner exchange? It shouldn't be considered shady at all. It's merely the fulfillment of a fair deal between two consenting parties. Zack doesn't need to hide this market research expense from Screech. He's right there. For our third and last example, watch how Slater greases Vicky's hand in payment for her, services. No one just hands money over in this show.
If you ever need an actress, call me. Gotta run. Linguini commercial.
Wait a minute. This completely legitimate actress has a commercial to shoot, but she forgoes it to parade as Tony Crane's wife for 5 minutes? How much did Mr. C pay her? And for what? The dude is clearly rolling in that substitute teacher money. Okay, now switching gears, I thought it would be fun to look at the ages of some of the student guest stars up to this point. Back in the first episode of Good Morning Miss Bliss, Carla Gugino played a 9th grader at age 18. We've already noted the absurd age gap with Andress Jones being 21 opposite Dustin Diamond's 11. Alexandra Lee fit in, as she was 14 years old, as did Devin Odessa, who was 15. Suzanne Terra's character was entering college, so it makes sense that she was a little older, but she was still about 24 when she gave Mark-Paul Gosselaar his first kiss at age 15. J. Trevor Edmond was 20 in his appearance, and Christopher Carter was 17, so we still don't know if the Rigmas were supposed to be a high school or university thing just based on their ages. Kirsten Holmquist was a modest 17, and holy farts, those tight pants were filled by a 27-year-old Scott Fultz. Give it up for the baby face. Let's stick with guest stars and talk about Dustin Diamond's dad, Mark Diamond. We've already seen him twice as Mr. Bennett, the science teacher. As far as I know, we shan't be seeing him again. He'll go down as the teacher who had to remind the students which class they were not in.
This is study hall, not Soul Train.
This is chemistry class, not love connection. If you don't finish your experiment, I'll have to experiment with your grades.
His first credit was in the movie American Hot Wax, a delightfully chaotic film about the controversial popularization of rock and roll. Mark Diamond plays a stagehand. This movie also showcases an absolutely lovely Fran Drescher and a completely moronic Jay Leno. He is also credited in the movie Light of Day as one of the Huns, but I can't tell which one he is supposed to be, and I'll be gosh danged if you can. Mark Diamond is credited as being a character named Fullman in an episode of 21 Jump Street, but his scene must have been cut because I never saw him. There was just a bunch of shots of Johnny Depp chewing gum. So, thanks Mark for not making the episode. We're just going to watch a supercut of Johnny Depp chewing gum. And while we joyfully watch old Mr. Depp, I'll note that Mark Diamond apparently quit his job at computers to manage Dustin Diamond's early career. There's an infamous exchange between Mark and Howard Stern where Mark has to explain where all of Dustin Diamond's money went and why Mark was living rent-free in Dustin's house. Oh, fortune and fame, what a curious game. Holy farts, how is this bit not over yet? Come on! Let's shift back to Dancing to the Max, and I'm going to give credit to Redditor Freddy's Glasses for this next note. As you no doubt recall, Lisa was originally going to dance with Byron, but then he nixed their partnership after she kicked a TV and sprained her ankle. When Screech and Lisa ultimately win, I wondered how Byron must have been feeling. Well, turns out we know he was totally there. He claps along to Kelly and Slater. How did I miss that? I must have been focusing on something else. He also claps along to Jesse and Zack. How did I miss that? Friggin' focus issues. I blame my lack of focus on the Dapper Pirate. It's clear during Lisa and Screech's dance that Byron is not going to support it. In fact, as we saw, he turns in disgust when they win, and he refuses to join in doing the spraying. Suck it, Byron! So thanks, Freddy's Glasses. You got both an upvote on Reddit and an upvote in all of our hearts. Now, one of the most egregious flubs I've made so far in making these videos is failing to do a background feature on Hayley Mills. You know, the very person Good Morning Miss Bliss was centered on. I mean, there was a nugget or two dropped, like how she was in the Parent Trap, but she clearly deserved a bit more love and attention than I gave her. Hayley Mills was born into a showbiz family. Her mom was a screenwriter and actress, and her father was a celebrated actor. She signed a picture deal with Disney at the age of 13 and starred in movies, like the aforementioned The Parent Trap, as well as The Moon Spinners, In Search of the Castaways, and Pollyanna. She won an Academy Award for Pollyanna, the award for Most Outstanding Juvenile Performance, which was the last time the award was given. While Hayley speaks fondly of Walt Disney, she refused to re-sign with the company and began taking on more adult roles, like in The Family Way, a comedy about a newlywed couple that just can't seem to get it on. With many other movies and television shows to her credit, including several sequels in the Parent Trap universe, Hayley continues to work. A few last notes. Due to her incredible work in her early career, Hayley was honored with having her prints put into the cement at Grauman's Theater on her father's birthday. In 2008, she was diagnosed with breast cancer and has evidently moved past it. Finally, when asked about her time on Good Morning Miss Bliss, she says she enjoyed the opportunity, but felt like some of the scenes came off a bit wooden due to constant rewrites and last-minute changes. So, yeah, Hayley Mills, everybody. And I think that's all I had for this bonus episode. Oh, wait! No, it's not! That's right. They rapped in that last episode.
So clap your hands and stomp your feet. Hey, we got school spirit. We can't be beat.
Lisa did well enough, but check out Kelly's flow.
Check this out. We've got something to say about the Tigers from Bayside gonna rule the day.
Let's try and do a bit better. Can't stand whack rap, gotta jump on the mic, move your butt to the beat as we make this right. Cause we're gonna drop bars as we do and tell all about one Mark-Paul Gosselaar.
Mark-Paul's first job was a shot for the plaza. His first on screen was fire safety with the Donald. Before his big break, before living large, he guest starred with Stingray and Charles in Charge. In Highway to Heaven, he had to be a Nazi. Necessary Parties was a movie made for TV. Punky Brewster wondered years in the Twilight Zone. Run out the rest of the shows before he earned that phone.
Beat, 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 beat. Beat, 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 go Bayside. Beat, 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 beat. Beat, 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 go Bayside. Check this out. We've got something to say about the Tigers from Bayside gonna rule the day.
Man, there's a reason we have to do this rap in the first place, Kelly.
Did you guys know that he's not even blonde? He had to dye his hair weird just to keep his job offset. You can bet that this dude is trying to die. He can pilot a plane and races cars and bikes.
His dad was born in Holland and his mom is from Bali. He's the youngest and the only sibling born in this country. His first name is two first names and his last has double A's. This has made him seem exotic like one Dr. Turtle A.
Beat, 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 beat. Beat, 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 go Bayside. Beat, 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 beat. Beat, 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 go Bayside.
Anything else you can tell us?
Yeah, I got a little something.
Nice.
Now I'm gonna bust your bubble, but you need not to be wary. I just think that you should know that Mark-Paul's middle name is Harry. As I was going through Mark-Paul's old appearances, I noticed he seemed to ruin the life of Fred Savage's characters. Stealing Lisa for the dance in the Wonder Years? Ooh, that seems familiar. And fighting in a barbecue in the Twilight Zone. Which all goes to prove my new theory. Fred Savage hates Mark-Paul Gosselaar.
Gotta run. Linguini commercial.